Welcome to Betrayal Affairs. In today's video, my name is Anna, and I am 45 years old. This is not a story I ever imagined telling, because even now, every time I replay those moments in my mind, I feel a mix of guilt, confusion, and sorrow. It is a story about trust, about family, and about the unexpected ways betrayal can shatter lives. It begins with someone I welcomed into my home with open arms, someone I thought would protect and love my daughter for the rest of her life. He was her fiancé, a young man full of charm, politeness, and warmth. At least, that is what I believed in the beginning. But as you will see, appearances can be deceiving, and sometimes betrayal does not come from strangers but from those we trust the most. I ask you to stay with me until the very end before judging me, because only then will you understand how easily the lines between loyalty and temptation, between honesty and deceit, can blur. Who knows, by the time you finish listening, you might even find yourself asking what you would have done if you were in my place. The evening that changed everything started innocently enough. It was my idea to invite my daughter's fiancé for dinner. I thought it would be a good way for us to bond as a family. The weather outside was warm, and my kitchen was filled with the rich aroma of roasted chicken, garlic bread, and the laughter of my daughter humming while setting the table. He arrived right on time, flowers in hand, smiling as though he had stepped out of a storybook. My daughter's face lit up the moment she saw him, her joy was radiant, infectious. They hugged tightly in the doorway, and in that instant, I thought, she has chosen well. At the table, everything flowed naturally. He spoke about his work, about his dreams, about how much he admired my daughter. His words were like honey, smooth and sweet, and I could see how deeply she adored him. But there was something else. Something small, almost imperceptible at first. A glance that lingered too long when our eyes met. A subtle shift in his smile when I laughed. A pause in conversation when I leaned forward to refill his glass. I tried to dismiss it. I told myself I was imagining things. After all, why would my daughter's fiancé look at me that way? As we cleared the dishes later that night, I noticed a change in my daughter's face. Her joy dimmed, her movements stiffened. She forced a smile, but her eyes betrayed her unease. "Sweetheart," I whispered, touching her arm as she stacked plates, "are you all right?" She hesitated. Her lips parted as though she wanted to speak, but then she shut them again and shook her head. "It's nothing, Mom. Don't worry." But I did worry. That night, when the laughter faded and the house fell silent, I lay in bed replaying her expression. What had she been trying to say? The next day, I could not contain my concern. As we sat together in the kitchen with mugs of tea, I pressed gently. "You know you can tell me anything, right?" I said. She stared into her cup before whispering, "Mom, it's him. Sometimes, I think he looks at you differently." My breath caught. I tried to play it off, to calm her. "You're just imagining it, sweetheart. He's probably just nervous." But she shook her head. "It's not just last night. I've seen it before. He stares at you in a way that doesn't feel right." Her words pierced me. I had noticed those glances too. I had ignored them, brushed them aside. But hearing my daughter confirm it sent a chill through me. I reassured her as best as I could, telling her that relationships are complicated, that sometimes our insecurities play tricks on us. She nodded, but I could tell she was not convinced. And neither was I. Days turned into weeks, and he visited often. Each time, I watched him carefully. His charm was undeniable, his manners impeccable. To anyone else, he seemed perfect. But the glances continued. Quick, almost hidden, yet heavy with unspoken meaning. When I laughed, he looked at me. When I entered a room, his eyes followed me before he returned to my daughter's side. I told myself it was harmless. Yet a seed of unease grew inside me. A part of me felt flattered, even rejuvenated by the attention. But another part knew it was dangerous, dangerous for me, dangerous for my daughter, dangerous for all of us. One evening, after another family dinner, my daughter excused herself early, tired from a long day at work. He remained downstairs, scrolling through his phone on the couch. I went upstairs to prepare for bed. In the shower, I tried to let the water wash away the tension I carried. But as the steam filled the bathroom, I felt an inexplicable sensation, as though someone was near, watching. I froze, heart pounding. When I pulled back the curtain and peeked, no one was there. Just shadows, just silence. And yet the unease lingered. Was it my imagination? Or was he really outside the door? Later, as I sat in bed reading, I heard a faint knock. Soft. Hesitant. I opened the door slightly, and there he was. Sorry to disturb you, he said quietly, but I couldn't sleep. I needed to talk. I hesitated, every instinct telling me this was wrong. But curiosity, and perhaps a dangerous need for answers, compelled me to step aside. He entered, eyes avoiding mine at first. You probably think I'm strange, he began, but I feel like you understand me better than anyone. Sometimes I wonder if I'm marrying the right person. My chest tightened. Those words were poison. He was doubting his commitment to my daughter, and confiding in me of all people. Stop, I whispered firmly. You can't say things like that. You're engaged to my daughter. She loves you. But his eyes finally met mine, intense, searching. And what about you? Have you really not noticed how I feel? I felt my knees weaken. My heart raced as though I were standing at the edge of a cliff. Yes, I had noticed. Yes, I had felt something strange stirring inside me too, but that was not the point. I was her mother. He was her fiancé. This path led only to destruction. You need to leave, I said firmly, my voice trembling but resolute. For a long moment, he stood there, silent, as though weighing his next move. Then he nodded slowly, almost regretfully, and walked out. I closed the door behind him, my body shaking. I thought that was the end. But I was wrong. In the weeks that followed, cracks began to show. My daughter grew more anxious, more suspicious. He became more distant with her, yet more persistent in finding moments to be near me. Then one afternoon, I discovered the truth that shattered everything. While cleaning the living room, I stumbled upon his jacket draped carelessly on a chair. Inside the pocket was a folded letter. I should not have read it, but something compelled me. It was a love letter, not to my daughter, not to me, but to another woman entirely. The words were passionate, raw, undeniable. He had been seeing someone else all along. My knees gave way, and I sank to the floor, clutching the paper, tears blurring my vision. He had betrayed my daughter. He had betrayed me. He had betrayed us all. That evening, I could not stay silent. I showed my daughter the letter. Her face crumpled, her hands shook, and then she screamed, a raw, heartbreaking sound that echoed through the house. When he arrived later, she confronted him with the evidence. At first, he denied it. Then, when the truth became undeniable, he confessed. He admitted not only to the affair but also to the feelings he had been harboring toward me. My daughter collapsed into my arms, sobbing. And in that moment, I knew I had failed her. Not because I had acted on his attention, I hadn't, but because I had allowed it to linger, to poison the air between us, to fester into this betrayal. She broke off the engagement immediately. He left our lives, his charm revealed for the hollow mask it was. But the scars remained. My daughter's trust was shattered, not only in him but partly in me too. Though I had never crossed the final line, the mere fact that I had felt something, that I had hesitated instead of warning her sooner, weighed heavily on me. And so here I am, sharing this story with you. Betrayal does not always come with loud announcements or obvious signs. Sometimes it creeps in quietly, in glances, in unspoken words, in late-night whispers. Sometimes it hides behind the face of someone we believe to be perfect. My daughter's fiancé betrayed her, betrayed me, and in some ways, betrayed himself. But the hardest truth of all was realizing how easily I could have been swept into that betrayal if I had let my guard down. Now I turn to you. What would you have done in my place? If you noticed the subtle looks, the late-night confessions, the signs that something was not right, would you have spoken up sooner? Would you have told your daughter immediately, even at the risk of hurting her? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts, your judgments, your advice. And if you found yourself drawn into this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next tale of love, betrayal, and secrets revealed. Because here at Betrayal Affairs, every story is a reminder that sometimes, the greatest dangers are not outside our homes, but within them.